welcome back to another Terra Plays Terra video. So in today's video, I'm going to be going over the 124 update for Terra inside the game. I know it's been a week since, the update has happened. I do apologize, I've just been really busy with work. I did mention that when coming back to YouTube, it's not always going to be easy for me to keep up. But, this video, we're going to go over basically just the dungeon rotations that happened, or dungeon rotation, and the new stigmas, which are probably the only thing people really are focusing about. All the high watch shops did reset, those usual things. You can go and check them out yourself. The 7th anniversary, I think, is still up by the time this video posts. I don't think you'll really get any more coins, but they usually let the shop stay open for like an extra week or two, so people can just, still trade in any leftover coins. But yeah, let's dive into the dungeon rotation first, as that kind of leads into stigmas. So as you can see, Bahar leaderboard is just gone. Bahar is now the top still dungeon. And then Catalepticon hard and normal basically replaces Killing Grounds and Crimson Killing Grounds. Now, Catalepticon hard is where I'm going to focus mostly, has all the loot that Crimson Killing Grounds had. The big difference is it only gives one of the dungeon annihilation cores, whereas Killing Grounds gave 2. So the thing to know though is that Catalepticon is a lot easier to clear than Crimson Killing Grounds. Yes, they're the same item level, but I do not think they're the same skill level, due to the fact of, one, Killing Grounds had either a bug in it or people just weren't getting the stun. I'm not too sure. I didn't run it enough to know if they changed it in some other way and we never figured it out, or if it was just broken. And it's very understandable to know that the devs just don't know how to code that well. So it's a good chance it was broken for the whole time it was out. Also, she doesn't hit anywhere near as hard as he does, and it does feel like her health or HP is just in general lower, but that could just be overall due to the fact that people know the dungeon better. It's been out longer. If you don't know the dungeon, go ahead and go in the link down below. I will post a link to my guide to this dungeon, or you could just search it in the channel search and it should come up. And yeah, the next thing to know is Bahar. They did not really update this tooltip, but Bahar is where you get all the new stuff for your stigmas. I can at least show one of the items, which is the Stigma Refining Stone. This is what one of basically the only thing you'll need to be able to reroll and refine your legendary stigmas. It costs X amount of stones. The patch notes had it. I don't know it off the top of my head. I do apologize. But basically you need X amount of these plus a diamond and some other stuff to craft the stat change stones, as well as you'll need X amount of those to refine the stigmas themselves. I want to give a huge shout out to Aki. I'm going to post some pictures Aki sent me, and Aki actually did refine a stigma. So at this time we'll talk about what happens, like what is the point of doing this and why you might not want to do it for a bit. Basically, you can refine any level stigma. It does not have to be +5 to refine. I believe the enchant will still be the same. Basically, think of this as going from like Stormcry to Fraxum, but you do not get a gear score increase. You do not get any extra damage. The only thing that refining a stigma does is it just drops the green rolls and lower. Physically, when you re-roll that legendary stigma, you can only get yellow and blue rolls. Now, in theory, this sounds great, but in reality, for anyone who's been playing a long time, this is dog water. Because even though we'll use my Keffel Soul for example, isn't the best roll. 2 and 1.8% cooldown is great. Decreased damage taken from crits by 4% is, I guess, okay, but you know, the as people would consider a god roll would be getting 1.6, or getting maybe something else that increases damage off of souls. Yes, this is a easier roll to get with those stigmas, but I want to let you know, when you enhance a stigma, it re-rolls it. So any of your stigmas that you like the rolls, do not enhance them. You will lose your rolls and you will have to keep re-rolling. For an attack stigma, yes, this roll would be so much easier to improve and get better if I enhanced it. But again, I would have to keep re-rolling it, and just because it gets rid of the green rolls doesn't mean it's gonna get rid of the shit rolls. It doesn't. You can still get knockdown damage, you can still get PvP rolls, and for PvPers, maybe you want that. But it's not, it's still the reroll system. So anyone who has stigmas that you really like the rolls, you're gonna lose them when you enhance it, which makes sense because it's like an upgrade, and it kind of sucks, but that's the way it works. So you get the scrolls to enhance it from Bahar, even though it's not shown here. You get the stigma stones from Bahar, and you can also get the crafting recipe for free from Bahar to make the stat change stones. You can also come to any specialty store, go to materials, and you can buy the same recipe for 1 million gold. So if you're not getting it from Bahar, but let's say you've gotten some stigmas already enhanced, ideally enhance ones that have bad rolls so that you just have an easier time of getting the better rolls. You know, it's great. And just to show, like, honestly, crafting the rerolls, I think down the road will be, I think, easier almost, maybe, because it's 5,000 stigma shards, it's only 1 stigma refining stone, and it's 1 diamond. This is all pretty cheap, and if you crit, you get 2 rerolls, so it's not too terrible, in my opinion. It's just going to be actually getting the enhancement scrolls. The drop rate seems to be really low, and then again you have to reroll. So again, it doesn't have to be +5, it can be a base stigma. Aki actually did enhance a base stigma. I highly recommend enhancing stigmas that don't have good rolls, because as of right now you don't benefit from it, unless the only benefit you can get is, I could benefit from changing this one technically, because I would lose that green roll, and then I have the chance of getting 2% 1.8 or 2% 1.6 a lot easier. But again, like I said, it's not guaranteed, and you're gonna have to still re-roll a lot. Yes, it would be less, but it's still going to be quite a bit of rerolls. So this update's great for toons that don't have stigmas with good rolls, but anyone who's focused them, honestly, I don't even think I would suggest enhancing. I would suggest hoarding the enhancement stuff. Again, even eventually they're gonna make the scrolls tradable. They're not. If you get one, you can't trade it until the patch that's coming out this month. I really hope this patch also gives a reason to enhance them. Personally, I think they should really reconsider a locking system. Maybe make it that you use 5 rerolls and you get to lock 1 roll, 10 rerolls and you can lock 2 rolls. It's a lot, but at least then it's like you can lock and get the perfect rolls. There's no backward progress. Again, stigmas always have been this backward progress that I despise. You know, pets were great with it, runes are okay with it, they're forward momentum. Yes, it sucks that runes you only get 5 rerolls. I hope that also changes. But at least it's, hey, I have a role I like, I can keep it. You can guarantee keep it. Same thing with your pets. You can guarantee keep the pet role if you like it. I wish Stigmas had a system similar to that. And I hope this enhancement stuff is a stepping stone into that setup. Because right now it's really not worth getting. And this patch is starting to be more of a catch-up patch. And what I mean by that is it's a great patch for people to come back and play, to catch up with their gear, to catch up with their cards. Cards still suck a lot, but now's the time to come back and catch up. You can actually get a lot done. Gearing's a bit easier. You know, if you have tunes, like I said, that have shit rolls, it's probably a lot easier to enhance those and get good rolls now than it was before. But for people who already have good rolls, it's not the time to do that. Not yet. Hopefully they increase something from this. Hopefully the enhancement is more. Because even it not giving more damage is just not worth it. It offers no other benefit than congrats, you can re-roll it easier. Mind you, like I said, I want to make this clear. When you enhance it, you lose your rolls. It will re-roll. So you may keep them. It could roll to a good roll, or you could roll to flight duration on your souls and get a triple flight duration. So I just wanted to fair warn anyone. That is the information on all that stuff, and that's about it. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. If I don't have answers, I'm sure anyone that I talk to and that has been playing a lot could help me answer questions. If you like this content, go ahead and hit that like button. I'll have some Pokemon content coming out soon, so if you're into Pokemon, stay forward looking towards that. And yes, consider subscribing if you're not. That's about it. Hope to see you around, gamers.